Hi everyone, Todd Peak Appliance here. Looking at a GE oven today that the oven has no heat. And as you can see right there is the element that I need. But just wanted to comment on a couple things on this. First thing I did when I got here is I tested all the surface burners and they're working. So then I opened it and I found this. So it wasn't out of place. There's the screws. I did that. They're, as is most elements, there's two 1/4-inch tap screws that go in the back, so yeah, I noticed that right off the bat. You can see here's some of the residue, this white stuff. I don't know if you can see that, but on the ceiling, the white stuff is basically like a welding rod when these go bad. And if you ever see them, which is very rare in our trade, usually show up to the aftermath, but I've seen a couple where I was testing the oven and it's on and all of a sudden you see it glow. You'll see it glow and then pop, and you want to turn it off as soon as possible because this whole thing turns white. But pretty standard style GE slide-in range. The cleaners had already been here, so like I said, that was in place. The biggest thing on this is biggest thing on this is, well, first you obviously have to unplug it, but what I try and do, especially in this situation, is I don't want to pull this machine out, and I'll show you in a minute why. But this here, you can see there's just enough lead on these wires, and again, my power's off, so there's just enough lead here I can get my new element in. I'll try and finagle this out very carefully, pop it out, get those wire leads off, because then you don't have to pull the machine back. So, and the reason why I do that, because on this one, for one, it's older. You don't want to be damaging the top on the granite, because when you pull it out, this floor covering this is raw subfloor here. That's raw subfloor. This is finished wood floor here. So there's a discrepancy in the height on the oven, and this is just one of those tricks. You go to pull it out, there's a couple reasons. You scratch the floor, okay, because we can avoid it. You scratch the floor, so you have to go out to the truck, get your glides, set that up. It's one more step. Plus on this one here, instead of walking around the house looking for a breaker panel, which I can't stand, that's one of my biggest pet peeves, because most of the time the panel's been changed, or you can't find it, or it's in a closet that's locked, or whatever. When I'm working on a range, this is a good job because it's quick. You can get in and out pretty quick, but I can unplug that here from here. So so first thing I saw was open the door. I already checked the surface elements, you know, just a little bit, and pulled this out, and bam, there it was. So that also posed another problem, because there's no real part number on this. A lot of these older GE, or I don't know if it's older, but a fair amount of the GE elements have a part number stamped here. So this one does not. Actually, this one does, but I'm looking at it, and it actually doesn't jibe with the part number that I have, so that means it's been subbed over. Not a big deal, because the model number on this machine is legible. It's still in place, so you can call your supplier. Me personally, I have a box of I don't know, probably 20 or so elements out of my van, and you know, you can grab, there's probably a couple out there that may work on this machine. I don't know. I just grabbed the proper one, or that I thought was proper, of course, because you can't see it, because the other element was blown up. So, but this, pretty confident this is the one. Yeah, so it fits good. You know, again, that was I had that stocked on my van, so if you had to order the part, you can just pull it out, and you won't be able to see it here, but it's stamped in there. Actually, you can see some numbers. It's stamped And this one actually subs, so it's an older part number, but it'll sub to your new one. So but if you are changing, if you don't have, I realize not everybody has big box elements, and like I said, I carry about 20 or so. But biggest thing is the spacing here, the screw spacing, and the distance on the back that goes behind the machine. Because if it's too long, it'll go ahead and it'll hit the cover panel on the back, and that'll short circuit, and then you could probably blow up, you could maybe blow up the controller or something. I mean, it's an older machine, so it's an older machine, fairly pretty basic job. Element on an oven is a real basic job, so that's one that you know, especially for a new technician, that's you know, that's how you don't want to spend a lot of time on that, because you will be struggling on some other stuff. So so that's how I do it. Again, I'm pretty much always looking for ovens where I can go underneath and do this whole trick and not disturb anything. But you have to look the part number up. You know, there's your badge, so you're all good on that. But you know, I put this in, I'm already heating, so that's good. You know, another thing you could do is when you pull the old element out, you can hook up your meter, make sure you're getting voltage. But you know, I mean, here it's like that was already blown up, it was probably working, your voltage is probably good. You know, I guess maybe in a classroom, certain instructors will say to start metering and whatnot. You can see we're glowing, you know. But in the time, you know, there's not a lot of wire on those leads. It's tough to get your probes in there sometimes, and then you're working with live voltage and you got to unplug it again, and I don't know. You know, I just assume this one here, I didn't have to walk far to my van. I just grabbed the element, and there we go. Pretty quick repair. So you know, older oven, but everything's working good on it, and pretty quick repair. You're in and out, and hopefully that helps some of you guys out there. And give us a thumbs up, or post a comment. We appreciate all the feedback that you have for us, and hope you have a good day out there. Until next time, cheers.